Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the adventures of Dink, Smallwood. We have retreated back to our home in Terrace, and from here we are now going to go and finally see the king. We have helped every single village that there is in the land, and we've done enough heroic deeds that he will now talk with us. This is the very last time that we are going to see our aunt before the end of the game. We will not be returning here, so I think it's about time that we help her out, especially if we're going to be leaving her alone again by taking care of her husband. We are now strong enough to be able to take care of him. As you can see, I dispatched of him very easily. And our aunt is upset. I mean, we just murdered her husband. So I don't really know how she's gonna feel with having us with her, but we can speak with her. How are you holding up? I'm okay. How do you like our town? And living here? I like it. I think the locals like me too. I feel safe with you upstairs. Me too. Well, apparently she got over the death of her husband very, very fast. She just had to have one little cry, and that was it. So, that's that. Again, completely optional. You do not have to do that, but it's been a long time coming. You just have to train to get strong enough in order to be able to take him out. I don't recall if we've had this conversation with our aunt about getting a bigger bed yet, but I might as well talk to her before I go. I like the room and all, but my bed is a little small. I would trade, but mine is the exact same size. What if you traded them in for one big one that we could share? I'm your aunt, Dink. And I have some work I have to do. Yeah. And then one more optional thing, and this is really horrible, but you can basically take the place of your uncle if you wish. And you can say some really horrible things to your aunt while you attack her with the sword. Now, she will never die or anything like that. It's not like you can kill both your aunt and your uncle. But sometimes if you hit villagers, you'll get special dialogue. I don't think I've really showed that off yet, but I just figured I would show off everything optional that I can think of before we leave our aunt's house. So in my inventory, I also have a few potions, and I would recommend keeping one or two on you. We're going to go into an area that is going to be pretty brutal when we first arrive, and those potions might come in handy. I am leaving with quite a bit of gold as well, which is nice because we're gonna need lots of gold for what we're about to do next. And if you can't remember the way, Good Heart Castle is just north of Terrace, sort of northwest. And in order to be able to get in, we just have to talk to one of the guards. I must see the king at once. Oh, Smallwood, of course you may see the king. Guard, open the gate. So yes, we are now good enough to get on in here and we can meet the king himself. Hello, Dink. I've heard much about you. It is good to finally meet you. Greetings, my lord. Now, what is it I can help you with? Well, the first thing we're gonna do since we're here is to complain about our taxes, of course. I think you should lower the pig tax, sir. Oh, really? Yes, my family got royally screwed by the crown each year. I will take that into consideration, Dink. I really will. Yeah. Down with taxes. But what we're really here for is to offer our assistance to find Milder. I heard about Milder. Yes, he was a very brave knight. He entered the Darklands knowing full well that very few return, and now he is lost too. I would like permission to go after him, my king. You, Dink, it is suicide. He grew up in my village. I cannot turn my back on him. And I cannot refuse you. But just getting to the Darklands is quite a challenge. Please, just tell me the way. Go north from the castle until you hit the cliffs. I will have men there to guide you through the passage. And Dink. Something very strange is happening to the world. The Darklands seem to be the origin. Please, be careful. Thank you. I'll be back, and I won't be alone. Yeah. I think that's the definition of a true hero, you know? Our childhood bully was never been very nice to us. He's been horrible to us all the way along, but yet we still can't turn our back on him. Dink just wants to help everybody. And you may also see that there is a juicy defense potion over on the table there. I have never found a way to get to that. I don't even think that you can. My thought was that it was just kind of there for show, like it's supposed to be a drink in and amongst all this food. That's kind of my theory. There might be a way to get to it that I'm just not aware of, but I've never been able to get over there. So after leaving the castle, you want to make sure you have everything that you need before you carry on. Definitely make sure that you have the claw sword, some potions, as I said I would recommend, although they're not mandatory. And then we just want to head north to the cliffs, as the king said. And you can see that there are 2 guards guiding this passage. This is the way, Dink. I wish you luck. You are a very brave man, Sir Smallwood. Thank you. I agree. So now we're going to get into this area, and this is probably, to me, the worst area in the whole game. I really hate this place. It's called the Edge of the World, as far as I know, is the official name of this place. And there are a lot of trees here. So going through and burning all of these trees just makes it a little bit easier to see as you navigate around. And the enemies in here are absolutely brutal. These golem-like creatures, at the moment, since we've just arrived, are going to absolutely destroy us. So it is best to sort of avoid them at first. Now, my fireball recharges very, very quickly, which is nice. It means that I can sort of get rid of these trees quickly and efficiently. I am going to be trying to stay out of these guys' way as much as possible. I do kind of wonder if I should try my speed shoes. They just hit so incredibly hard. You can see there I took 17 damage and it drained a huge chunk of my health bar, so you really have to be careful. So what I would recommend is coming around, sneaking past this guy, and heading west, and then we need to sneak past this guy and head south if we can. Which we did. Excellent. Fortunately, your fireballs can go through multiple layers. They don't get stuck on the cliffs, which is quite nice, so you can burn trees along the way. We're going to keep heading west. You can see that there is a save point here, if you'd like to use that. Just kind of some insurance. Ouch. Damn it, I got too close. Unfortunately, the golems can also reach over cliffs and hit you from a distance. So I just thought I would show where the save point is for now, and I'm gonna try and navigate my way around the cliffs. Usually I can't navigate my way out of a wet paper bag, so you just have to excuse me. My sense of direction is horrible. But I am going the right way now. So once you've reached that save point, I would just backtrack, heading east until you find this sign. And then we can keep heading east. And eventually, we're going to hit a wall of trees. So we're going to stick to the north. 99% of these trees have absolutely nothing behind them, so again, destroying them is optional. I just find it easier because you can see where you're going. And we have 2 buildings over here. I'm actually going to take off my shoes now. Makes it a little bit easier to navigate. The first building here is actually a church. And we are now able to heal ourselves for free. If you drink out of the fountain, you get a free heal, no charge. You don't have to waste any of your money, which is fantastic. So there is a way to heal out here in the middle of nowhere, which I do recommend taking advantage of as you grind your level and make your way through this area. If we check out the other building over here, I don't know where the music's gone. There's no music, which is kind of weird. We can talk to this lady, and you can see that she has a few pieces of equipment. So she's got an upgraded bow, if bows are your thing. And then she also has an upgraded sword. Very, very pricey. We are going to need quite a bit of money if we want these upgrades. But grinding actually from this point on isn't going to be too bad. Once we find a way to dispatch of those golems, things become a lot easier. We can also talk to her for a little bit of story as well. Ah, Dink, I've heard of you. I didn't think you'd be to these parts so quickly. Sometimes I amaze even myself. How have things been here lately? Strange. I've seen a lot of movement out of the Darklands. Seems they're pushing out into the world. Well, they can do all they want, but I have to find Milder. I'm sure time's running out for your friend, Dink. For all we know, they could have converted him to evil. Dink, if they keep getting stronger, I fear that my church will no longer be able to hold the evil off. What is the evil you keep talking about? It is an abomination of nature. I will not speak of it. Alright, so that kind of tells us a little bit, but also tells us absolutely nothing at all. So that's cool. Cool story. And then finally, if we head a little bit to the east, we have another save point here. And then further on east, you have this odd-looking building, which warns us to be careful. So this will actually take us to the final area of the game, just before the final boss. But this is not something that you have only one, it's not this is not an area of no return. You can use this device, warp to the Darklands, and then warp back if you need to. And if you don't want to fight golems, then you can warp here and fight some of the enemies in this area if you wish as well. I'd like to sort of just take care of this area first because there is a lot to find and I don't want to become disoriented and miss things, because despite the fact that we're getting close to the end of the game, we have a whole heck of a lot of power-ups that we are able to grab. in the upcoming episode or two. So I am going to stop it here. I figured I would just show sort of the lay of the land, how to get to a couple of save points and your healing area before we continue on and try to get ourselves some levels and some power-ups and some money as well. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.